congratulations to both of you. It's an absolute pleasure to talk to both of you. I found this film to be very interesting in terms of watching it with my wife because, my wife and I live together, obviously, during the pandemic, arguments happen. And it's very interesting and very natural the way this film comes across. It feels like you really are a married couple, and it's very, very interesting to watch. I wanted to ask you both, just in terms of, in general, with the pandemic, how it shifted your own life perspective. Did it shift things for yourself? What you found important in your own lives, whether it be working less, family more? I'll start with you, James. Just what the pandemic did to you in terms of life perspective.
I mean, I think I was very aware of the things that were important anyway, but it just forced me to sit with them and pay more attention to those important things. So you're right, it is family, it is working less, it is having time to be bored, which I don't think I've had for a long old time. These are all privileged and entitled places to be because other people were just struggling through it. We were lucky enough to have enough money in the bank to be bored, and not be anxious. So I realized that. But that's what it did for me. It gave me a bit of space and a bit of time, which is, I hate hearing people go on about it. I hate hearing people say, the pandemic was actually really good for me. Actually, in many ways, it's really helped me change, and it really helped me identify what was important about, just being. And all that stuff, I find a right pain in the arse, and people wank on about it. But it did happen.
Sharon, for you, any life perspective shift for you?
Yeah. I was at home for the first time in years and years and years. It is a, like James saying, a privileged perspective that we have anyway, but just being with my girls and it was an important time to be with them for a bunch of reasons. And I think, normally work or whatever gets in the way, and you kind of, I know what's important, but I don't always have a great perspective on it, or have the most important thing in the right focus. And I was just able to naturally have that with my daughters. And so, yeah, it made me realize a lot of stuff about that and about myself. Just made me more terrified in general. more scared of dying. Yeah.
I appreciate you both sharing that. There's an art form to breaking the fourth wall. It's very fascinating to me. And as I watched the film, it's interesting when you look at the camera, when you look at each other. And I was curious for each of you, who do you feel like you're actually speaking to? When you actually are in the performance, do you have someone in mind? I'm just wondering who you imagine you're actually talking to.
The audience.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot, though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We thought, because at first I was like, so is this like maybe these are online therapy sessions? So we're speaking to, and you're like, no, you've just got to kind of treat it like theater. You're speaking to the audience, the public, and I think that was it eventually, wasn't it, that we settled on, or not really?
Yeah, it was a sort of I mean, in a way that Stephen Dolgy, our director, was a sort of a guest in our home, and so he was our audience, and we never sort of said who he was or why he was there, but he was, the person who we were talking to all the time, in real life. He was there before we had a camera there. It was just Stephen sort of, working out where the camera would be, and so in the end, I think, it was just talking to, he was a listener. So I just thought, whoever's listening just needs someone to listen.